Mayor Mamdani threatened that he will arrest our prime minister when he will come to address the UN General Assembly.
Look, I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. We are looking at all of our legal obligations, and one of them is with regards to the United Nations.
It is a lie. We all know that. The mayor has no jurisdiction. The US is not part of the ICC. So we expect Prime Minister not only to come to New York, but also to address the General Assembly and to defend our nation. If someone should be arrested, it's you, Mayor Mamdani, because you support anti-Semites. It is you that give coverage to terrorists, and it is you that actually sent his representative to meet with the Iranian ambassador to the UN. That is shameful. Mr. President, Nelson Mandela said that in a free society, there should be only one division between those who cherish democracy and those who do not. Mayor Mamdani sent a representative to this podium today to invoke Mandela's legacy. But Mr. Mamdani has made his own choice clear. He does not stand with the democracies fighting terror. This is the same mayor whose commissioner tried to meet with Iran's representative to the UN, Mr. Ravani, last week, while America was fighting the very same evil regime. Thankfully, the State Department shut it down. This is the same mayor who mourned a Hamas sniper and called him an innocent civilian journalist. The same mayor who continues to fuel anti-Semitism across New York. And now, the same mayor who threatens Israel's prime minister with arrest powers he does not have. Mr. Mamdani, you have chosen the opposite of democracy. You have chosen collaboration with terror. Well, Mr. Mamdani, I have news for you. Your threat has no legal basis. We all know that the United States is not a member of the ICC. We have all read the UN headquarters agreement. Gaddafi, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, Yasser Arafat, they all stood at this podium. They were dictators and sponsors of terror. Benjamin Netanyahu is not. He is the elected prime minister of a democracy fighting terror. Yet you, Mr. Mamdani, pretend he is the one who should be arrested for standing here. Your threat is empty. It's a political theater designed to excite your radical base and distract from your failures in running this city. We have seen this playbook before. Like Mr. Khan from the ICC, Mr. Mamdani attacks Israel leader to distract from his own failures. Your grand election promises remain slogans. Instead of delivering for New Yorkers, you target Israel. So spare us the threat. The person who should be arrested is not our prime minister. It's you, Mr. Mamdani. So let me make it very clear. Prime Minister Netanyahu will come to New York. He will stand at this very podium. He will speak for the state of Israel. He will defend the people of Israel. And there is nothing you can do to stop him.
Zohran Mamdani is playing for his base that watches and gets their news from TikTok. He knows that the more you double down on your hatred towards Israel, because let's face it, right now the Democratic Party, it's not no longer the drift between the moderate and the socialist. It's the drift also against Israel. The more anti-Israel you are, the more traction you're going to get. And look at the publicity he's getting. Nothing has happened yet, but he is all over the news. Talk about free PR. That's exactly what he is after. This is not only supporting him, but it's driving the conversation and empowering the base that is going towards a socialist, communist, democratic party that's holding the reign right now and gaining traction nationwide. It's a publicity stunt. He can't do anything about it. Plus, if you're going to target Netanyahu, what about targeting other nations? What about the Chinese and the genocide they are doing towards the Uyghurs, the Uyghur Muslims in China? What about what the Sudan and Nigeria? What about the millions, 2 million people massacred in Sudan and Nigeria, the Christians? And what about them? Aren't we going to arrest their leaders? If you're going to target Netanyahu for the supposedly, according to Hamas health department, killed 45,000 or 60,000 people. What about the people that killed 2 million? What about the people in Iran that killed 45,000 to 65,000 of their own people? You're going to block them from coming as well? If he's going to follow that strategy, we might as well take the UN out of New York, because there are going to be only 3 people attending that conference in New York.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think he is getting the PR, and it's probably going to be a lot of protest.
So a political stunt or political theater. What do you make of Zohran Mamdani's efforts to see Benjamin Netanyahu arrested? The US isn't even a party to the ICC, and the mayor simply doesn't have the authority to do any arrest or order them, at least. It's clear, it seems, that there is a problem. Your take?
It is definitely a political stunt, baseless declaration. Everyone knows that. Mamdani himself knows that he has no jurisdiction. The U.S. is not part of the ICC. There is no arrest warrant that is valid within the U.S. And moreover, you have an agreement between the UN and the U.S. that allows leaders to come to speak in the UN. I can give you a long list of leaders who came, dictator. They compare them to the prime minister. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad came to speak at the UN. Muammar Gaddafi, Yasser Arafat. So it's a show. Mayor Mamdani has his own issues. Unfortunately, he cannot fulfill the promises of his campaign. So instead of dealing with free buses and free accommodation and affordable housing, he's blaming Israel. He's attacking Israel. And if someone should be arrested, it's Mayor Mamdani himself. He's promoting hate. He's inciting against Jewish organizations, calling them, dark forces, monsters. He's actually praising Hamas terrorists who took part on October 7th. And only last week, he sent his commissioner to meet with the ambassador of Iran to the UN. Only in the last minute, this meeting was canceled by the State Department. So I think we should focus on the tasks he had as a mayor and leave the foreign policy to the people in D.C. that are dealing with us.
Ambassador, when one looks specifically at the support this whole issue has garnered from President Donald Trump himself, he posted on social media that Benjamin Netanyahu is fighting against the Islamic Republic of Iran, which recently killed 52,000 innocent protesters. These are the words of the US president. And he goes on to say, has spent the last 47 years killing American soldiers and others, talking, of course, about the Iranian regime. Why is it that Zohran Mamdani isn't lambasting world leaders and those who are focused on terror attacks around the world? Instead, he's focusing attention specifically at Israel and the prime minister.
Well, you have to ask him why he's doing that. Unfortunately, some thought that he will leave aside the hate speech he's using after he gets elected, but it's not the case. He continues with that. And as I said earlier, he's actually engaging with the enemies of the United States. I don't expect him to represent Israel. We don't want him. We don't need him to represent Israel. But he's actually engaging with the enemies of the American people. And I think many Americans are upset seeing the mayor of New York siding with the Iranians and attacking the democracy that's protecting the same values that we share with the American people. It's shameful, but I know that it's a stunt. It's not going anywhere. Yesterday, I spoke at the General Assembly, and I told my colleagues, I have news for you. Prime Minister Netanyahu will come here to this building in September. He will speak here on this podium, and he will defend the state of Israel, regardless of what the mayor is saying.
That may well be the case, Ambassador, but what is your sense? How damaging are these publicity stunts, bogus allegations or not? The headlines focus on Israel and not on the issues inside New York, or for that matter, globally either.
Well, it's very damaging. I'm not worried about the prime minister. We are strong. We know the law. But I think about the Jews who live in the U.S., who live in New York, and they see the mayor, promoting hate. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. Instead of dealing with that, it's engaging with the evil forces that promote hate. That is the problem. The general feeling that the leadership is not focusing on what they should do, which is provide security to the people of New York.
We certainly will be watching. It is a disturbing situation indeed. Appreciate your time and your reaction and insights. Ambassador Danny Danon, live from New York. Thank you for being with us on The Rundown.
Thank you very much.